All right, so number 15, we're solving these systems with our calculator. And so this is where we're going to have to be proficient with using the matrix button in our calculator. And so I'm going to start by entering this matrix here as matrix A into my calculator. I probably should write this down, but I can't in this mode right on my screen. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to, turn my calculator on. I'm going to go to math. No, I'm going to go to matrix, so second matrix, and I want to enter these as matrix A. So I'm going to move over here to edit. I'm going to edit matrix A. It is a 3 by 3 matrix, so I'm going to type in 3 by 3, and then I'm going to type in all of these coefficients. So in the first row it's going to be 4 or 5, 4, and 1. So I will have 5 and 4 and 1. My second row is going to be 2, 1, and negative 1, 2, 1, and make sure you're using, this is the negative sign, this is the minus sign, so negative 1, and then 3, negative 1, and 4, so 3, negative 1, and 4, enter. And that's matrix A. So if I want to just check to make sure that that was correct, I can go back up here to matrix A, click enter, and just see it all at one time. 5, 4, 5, 4, 1, 2, 1, negative 1, 3, negative 1, and 4. When you're taking your test, it's probably a good idea just to go back and check that out to make sure you do it right. Because if you do it wrong, everything's going to be messed up, and every number is going to be wrong in your answer just by entering one number wrong. So that's matrix A. So then I want to do is I'm going to clear my screen here. Well, let me go back just a second and matrix. And this time I'm going to edit another matrix. I'm going to call it matrix B. And this is the answer matrix here, the 12, 1, and 13. So let me enter that. This is a 3 row by 1 column. So it's a 3 by 1 matrix. And it is a 12, and then a 1, and then a 13. And so if I just want to check that, I can go to second matrix. I go down to matrix B, make sure that's what I want, the 12, the 1, and the 13. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to clear everything here, and I'm going to go to matrix A, but I want the inverse of matrix A. So let me start here by putting matrix A on the screen. I want the inverse of that. So here's the inverse button. So I'm going to press second inverse. Oops. Let me go back and do that again. Let me quit out of this. So I'm just going to click that without pressing second. So there's the inverse of A, and I'm going to multiply that times matrix B. So I'm going to go back to second matrix. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to matrix B. And if I take the inverse of A times B and just click enter, those are my answers. 1.352, 0.705, and 2.41. So hopefully I did that one correct. Let me just check matrix A, make sure I typed that in there correct, because that just doesn't look very good. Nope, that's right, 3, negative 1, 4. So good thing we had a calculator for that one, because those are messed up numbers. And so we would just, if you were taking a test, I would just round those numbers. Let's do the same thing then with matrix B here. This is going to be a little bit more difficult to enter. I still want matrix B to be a 3 by 3 matrix, but this time when I enter these values in, I'm going to have to be really careful, because the first, I'm missing something in each row. So it's going to be an X. X is a 3, the Y is a negative 1, and then the Z is a 0. The second row, my X is a 0, my Y is a 1, and the Z is a 2. And in my third row, my X is a 5, my Y is a 0, and the Z is a negative 3. And so 3, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 5, 0, negative 3. There's matrix A. So then I'm going to go back to my matrix button, and I'm going to now edit matrix B. And I want the new answer matrix, still going to be a 3 by 1 matrix. It's going to be 9, and then 20, and then 4. Hopefully these end up being a little bit nicer numbers for us here. So then once I get that entered in there, I'm going to go to second matrix. I want to put A on the screen. Now I messed that up, didn't I? I didn't press enter. So that's just, let me go back. That's 4. All right, so let me quit this. I'm going to just clear everything here. And so now I want to put matrix A on the screen. So second matrix A. I want the inverse of that, so I'll click inverse. I'm going to multiply that by matrix B. So I'm going to scroll down here to B. So the inverse of A times B gives me 5, 6, and 7. And so I could plug those in to make sure that I'm right. 3 times 5 is 15, minus 6 is 9. And I could plug it into the other equations as well. So that is number 15.